Greetings and felicitations. Jarl of the Appian Way, back again with another replay. This time, I'm ready to melt my processor with it. We've got the Empire, Order of Lore Masters, Avalon, and Dwarves. So, the Forces of Order versus Dark Elves. Dark Elves, Cult of Pleasure, and Dark Elves. So, Dark Elves. Wicked, Krios, Regina, Valkyrie Hunt versus Bazooka Bob, Banebear, Broken Sky, and Revan. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm curious. This is a very typical army for Regina Dea. No, actually, it's not typical. There's a lot of flying units here. This is it. Ooh, look at this map. GCCM, Hotek's Column, a Dark Elf Siege. There's 3 bridges? Oh my goodness. 3 bridges, 3 gates. This is going to be interesting. Oh man, I can't wait to see this map. I love GCCM. So anyway, we've got 3 Great Eagles with experience chevrons, 2 Cold Heart Phoenixes, a Star Dragon, I believe. That could be a Moon Dragon because of the nighttime in the background. Alariel, a Noble, probably on a Chariot. She really likes Chariots in 3v3 and 4v4s. A unit of Treekin and the Guards of Mathlon. This is going to be so interesting to see. She did bring Avalon for this fight because I think she's playing against people that mostly know her and they know what she's about. So she almost always picks Alariel as her hero, and that's not a bad choice by any stretch of the imagination. It's a pretty solid hero, Lord choice. Bazooka Bob here with a Fire Sorceress and a Dark Lord, whatever they're called. The melee one because it's a lady, so it'll have sword and shield. And we've got 2 bleak swords, 3 dread spears, and some other stuff. We'll get into this in a second once we see the. Here we go. Harganeth Executioner, Blackguard Nagaron, 4 Dark Shards with shields. All right, this is going to be fun. There's 1 Dark Elf army here with only 244 units. It's probably just going to be a whole slew of Blackguard. That's what I would imagine. Empire and Dwarves bringing some infantry-heavy armies, which is going to be fun to see. Order of Lore Masters, probably some cavalry spritzed in there for once the walls come down. I can't wait to see what this map looks like. This is going to be a blast, and I'm glad I'm recording it to show to you. We'll see, though, if my computer can handle it. Ugh. Alright, so. Not much left to talk about. Just waiting on that loading bar. And it's thinking about it. It's still thinking about it. GCCM maps, they always take that extra couple seconds to load into. Oh, and yes, no, maybe. It has to think about it some more. All right. I know I turned on all of the GCCM mod assets before starting this up. The only thing that could go wrong is if this map itself is not actually is its own standalone DLC. If it's something, are we going? It's thinking about it again. Oh, this will be such a bummer if I can't share this because I already love the map. Alright, here we are. Let's put that into slow motion. Just as a general note to everybody who likes sending me replays, Gore blimey, I know you love sending me some 4v4s. I've yet to find a 4v4 that actually works as far as something I can share. Alright? So, alright, frame rate's already really down. Let's start with let's start with just how pretty this map is. Okay, so that's why they call it Hotek's Column. We're inside a giant freaking cave full of like warpstone and skulls. I'm getting such a Necron vibe from this place. And this is where they have to... Oh, Dark Elf. Dark Elf everything. Look at this. Look at that. Some lighting effect in the shadows here, in the fog here. Oh, man. There's so much cool detail here. Let's get a look down at the actual city. There's lava. They've got lava aqueducts. What? Why would you want lava aqueducts? Unless it's to power some nefarious magic in their buildings. It's also partly defensive and cosmetic. Alright, so 3 deployment zones for the Forces of Order. Let's start with the Forces of Order. And I like this setup for the Dawi. They just went ahead, they built a barricade of towers to help protect all of their forces over here, just in case there's something at distance that was going to start peppering them. So you got the Treekin over here, the Spirit Science of Avalon, and the Noble is out here as well. The Noble is on a... I'm guessing a chariot. I'm guessing this is a Noble on a chariot. Alright, let's look at the rest of what's going on over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Thunderers, 2 cannons, Thorgrim Grudgebearer, and 2 Giant Slayers. Inside the towers, we have Giant Slayers, giant Longbeards with great weapons. Longbeards, 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 and Longbeards. And then we're going to go over to the next deployment zone. Over here, looks like some Empire artillery is already opening up. We have 2 halberdiers actually holding this position. I'm guessing they're hoping to draw the Dark Elves out to attack them. These 2 towers here with halberdiers inside are protecting a Helmstorm rocket battery. Is that rocket battery actually firing over the towers and over that wall and into the enemy positions? Oh, hold on, I'm going to put it in play. I want to see. Or is there another Hellstorm rocket battery? I don't see another Hellstorm rocket battery. Alright, putting it in slow motion again. I think they're not firing right now. Be really interesting to find out how they were able to get the first shot off. So we have the Sigmar Sons, unit of great swords, and a handgunner back here, as well as an outrider with grenade launchers and a handgunner. I don't really like to pick grenade launchers against Dark Elves. We have the Sunmaker and 2 more towers with halberdiers also behind the walls where they're mostly protected from Dark Elf siege fire. It is shooting over the wall. How is it pulling that off? Let's get a go. I wonder how close of a look can I get at these rockets. If you ever wanted to know what a rocket looks like in this game, there they are. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty fascinating. And then out here, we've got Keepers of the Flame, Phoenix Guard, 2 units of White Lions of Trace, another White Lions of Trace, a Halberdier on a battering ram, the Star Dragon from before. We have Teclis, and White Lions of Trace. In this tower, we have a Swordmaster of Hoeth. These towers are mostly just set up defensively. Here's another Swordmaster tower. The Air Force of Regina Dea's army is over here, as well as another Star Dragon. Alright. And that Star Dragon's already started moving up, defending these positions. We have a very confused Reaper Bolt Thrower, a Bleak Sword. We're gonna go counterclockwise from here. Here we go. We have a Death Hag. We have another Reaper Bolt Thrower, a Dread Spear, and a Bleak Sword set up centrally so they can reposition as needed. Another Dread Spear, another Dread Spear. And then back here, supporting a line of Dark Shards of Shields, 2 units, we have a Bleak Sword and a Sorceress of Fire. Inside the gate itself, we have a Dreadlord with Sword and Shield and another Reaper Bolt Thrower. So this must be a strategy. They're planning to move out their artillery on several different flanks to pepper the enemy as they come through. And I'm really surprised that the Sunmaker and the Hailstorm Rocket Battery are able to get shots off from there. That's just insane. They must be shooting through the wall. We have Marathi on her flying mount, another Dread Spear, and the Regiment of Renown Dread Spear called the Hellebroni. We have Bleak Swords and Dark Shards manning the walls here. And then I think that almost... Oh, wait, we gotta come all the way back around full circle. We have another Dark Shard, a Witch Elves, I should say, a Dread Spears, and another Reaper Bolt Thrower, supported by Malekith on his dragon. But this is a tiered defense, and I think the players were determined to take advantage of the map as best they could. So, over here... What? Oh my gosh, how cool is this? We have a Harpy Air Force set up over top of this lava river with a Feral Manticore. They just look so cool. Alright. Out this way somewhere. Wow, really far up on these walls. We have some Dark Shards with shields. A Charybdis. No, that is the Chill of Suntar, War Hydra Regiment of Renown, and a Charybdis. Is there anything else over here? I feel like there is. Ah, yes. On the stairway leading up, we have the Harganeth Executioner and a Blackguard Nagarond. They're supporting this area up here, which I believe might be like the only way to reach. Oh, because you got to come down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This map is just made of so many neat little nooks and crannies. I hope they really get to take advantage of the whole map. Blades of the Blood Queen, Death Hag, a Bolt Fiends, which are Dark Shards with Shields, Regiment of Renown, another Dark Shard, another Black Orc Corsair, another Black Orc Corsair, over here we have a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows on a dragon, some more Dark Shards, and another Dread Spear or two. And I already got those units. And that's everything. Let's go ahead and see what happens. The battering ram is already on its way forward, and it's eating a barrage of fire from the artillery. The artillery out here as well is going to start peppering down these units of halberdiers as the Empire artillery cheats to get some more rockets through. The Dwarven towers are staying put for now, and I don't think they have to worry about any... No, there's no artillery coming their way. So we're going to be here for the long haul, folks. I hope you don't mind, as these Hellstorm rocket batteries are... Let's just get a look at this. This is nuts that they're shooting through their towers to get shots off on the walls in the distance. So there is a Reaper Bolt Thrower out here, which I think might be a little bit outclassed with these rocket batteries out here. Go ahead, let's see it. Open fire rockets. Yep, right through the towers, right through the walls, and into the Reaper Bolt Thrower. That Sunmaker is still one of the most pounds per dollar best units in this game. The Infantry Charge is underway over here. They've brought just the Halberdier. They're getting some support from the White Lions of Trace. The goal here is going to be for the Dragon to, I guess, try and get them to shoot something else other than the infantry that's on their way. Let's go ahead and get a look at this charge. Oh man, there's so much detail in the bridges here. You know what? I like this guy up here. This is our Dave. Dave the Halberdier, leading the first charge. Oh god, leading the first charge and watching as the White Lions of Trace just get obliterated by this Reaper Bolt Thrower, which somehow has 0 kills. Am I reading that right? What? How is it not killing any White Lions? Yeah, they have all their numbers. Never mind. Just, oh, Dave, are you okay? You alright, Dave? Yeah, he's okay. He's getting back up. If it doesn't kill a White Lion, it won't kill him, right? He dodged that headshot. He's going to mold into the terrain, and he's going to eat this one directly, I'm sure. Nope, his Halbert is still up. That's the only way I'm able to see Dave on this mad assault. How are these white lions not taking any kills? Like, how are they not dead yet? That Rapier Bolt Thrower has got to be fuming mad. Here's our Dave. Yelling out to Sigmar. And here goes Teclis, galloping by on his horse. Those white lions amazingly haven't lost any units. There's no way at this stage. I've got to have something glitched on my end. We're not going to be getting any kills. Alright, so that should silence the artillery. And our Dave might live a lot longer than I anticipated. A lot longer. Well, I'm not going to force you to watch this, Dave. If we're lucky, we might find him later on. If we'd have to be really lucky, however. As the Air Force of Avalon has now arrived and is supporting the White Lions of Trace here on this attack. They've gotten hold of that Reaper Bolt Thrower. Yeah, we have kills now. There's kills on the board. 11 kills for that Reaper Bolt Thrower. 2 for that Great Eagle. That's going to silence the artillery here. Let's go ahead and check in on the other areas. That Reaper Bolt Thrower that was facing off against the cheating Hellstorm rocket batteries is retreated back inside the walls, which is a good place for it to be. The gate itself is damaged to 26%. The gatehouse is up to 50% now. Those batteries will be able to bring it down. And out here, the dwarves continue to stare at the dark elves in the distance, but I think they're just doing their best to hold these guys down for now. It looks like these towers do have ammo, so there might be an opportunity for the... I'm not sure what they're shooting at, though. I wish I could tell. Anyway, let's go back to the main engagement. The Halberdiers are almost at the site of the battle. The Sisters of Avalon? I must have missed those. Yeah, there they are. Here's a Everqueen's Court Guards have moved up into position. Let's see if we can't refine Dave real quick. Here he is, maintaining his spot in this formation. They've taken no casualties yet, but they've taken some blows, and they're going to get their battering ram in place and hopefully do some damage to the walls. Alright, so the engagement from the Air Force has moved over to the walls. Shots have opened up over here as... Oh, it looks like Malekith has gotten singled out. They had to bring in the... oh, here they come pouring down over top of one of the towers. Here comes the Druki Air Force with Harpies and Feral Manticores, just to bail Malekith out in the nick of time. And my frame rate is borked, folks. Totally borked. Hellstorm rocket battery firing off in the distance. Still hammering the enemy positions. They've pulled their guys off the walls here. Alright, the battering ram unit has reformed, so I can only assume that this guy right here in the front is our... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, it's probably this guy right here, actually. This is our Dave. Oops, camera. Here he is. Yeah, you can tell he's already taken a couple of a couple of hits on his pants. He's got his black hat here and his... Oh, the battering ram destroyed? Okay, because they have broken down the gates now. Alright, the Halberdiers are thinking about the charge, but I think the White Lions are going to go ahead and lead the attack in. There is a Death Hag over here, and there is that Reaper Bolt Thrower. If they can get some point-blank shots off, this will be gnarly. Meanwhile, you can hear the clash of the Air Force up here. Oh, that must have been a breath attack from that dragon down on these Bleak Swords, but it didn't connect 100% accurately. So the Harpies have fallen back now that they've gotten Malekith out of there, which is not a bad idea. Look at them bobbing up and down over the towers in the distance. The Air Force of Avalon is also going to pull back. I think they should be diving down on top. Well, maybe not. That is some Witch Elves. You don't want to get stuck down there too long. Oh, hey, so the Dark Elves over here are going to get some cheating shots through their own walls.
Ever onward, guided by light.
Something disrupted the Halberdiers over here, but they're still all around. There's our Dave Halberdier. Let's see what's going on inside the gates. What's the Bleak Swords here are needing to jump off the walls because the White Lions of Trace are starting to push in, and they will definitely defeat Bleak Swords. No doubts about that. The Halberdiers are basically, I'm guessing, they're waiting for the Elven Infantry, which are the real heavy hitters here, to go in first. This unit's already lost its martial prowess, however. I think the Halberdiers could afford to attack, or maybe they're waiting for support. Ah, here we go. The Avalon Air Force is going to go ahead and take advantage of an Earthblood over here, even as they're getting shot by Reaper bolt throwers. Meanwhile, out here, it looks like our first two towers are on the move for these Halberdiers. How's the ammo on the Sunmaker looking? We're down to the last few rounds by the looks of it. The Sunmaker has 3 shots left, so they're saving it. And this one has 5 shots. No, wait, that's a charge bonus. 14 shots left. Okay. Man, those Reaper bolt throwers are trying to shoot down. I'm guessing Alariel, but they're just hitting whatever they can at this stage. The main engagement continues at the gates as those Bleak Swords are actually beating the White Lions of Trace. Is there something else participating in this fight that I didn't know about? Aha! Yes, the Death Hag has gotten into here and is going to make a significant impact on the battle inside this gate. But there's a lot more coming. Probably more than that Death Hag can handle. Sisters of Avalon, or the Everqueen's Court Guard to be in particular, is getting into position, probably thinking about what target they want to try and shoot at. I think they'd be well served to just pepper in there. And honestly, I'd be getting one of these dragons back here and just popping in a breath attack on that Bleak Sword, because why the heck not? Save your White Lions of Trace some embarrassment. Meanwhile, out here, the Halberdier towers are halfway across the bridge. You know what? I would be moving up everything, because it's not like there's any ranged element to the walls out here. Actually, the rocket batteries are still firing, and actually getting some good hits on, look at that, on these Bleak Swords and this Reaper bolt thrower, which was targeting the Avalon Air Force. I'd say, you know, there isn't any ranged component out here. There aren't any towers. Why not just move up your whole army? You know? That's what I would be doing. They're getting their next two Halberdiers ready. And here comes Karl Franz, who I missed earlier, on his Deathclaw. And he's going to go ahead and spend the rest of his rocket ammo. Getting some shots into that open gate, which seems to have glitched itself open. And dealing some significant damage here. Battle continues well up into the ceiling, and down here. Okay, so they've brought up some dark shards to try and chase off the Avalon Air Force, and the Avalon Air Force will go ahead and fall back. White Lions seem to have been defeated, and it looks like Dave might have his first taste of combat, as the Bleak Swords are starting to charge out, but here comes another White Lion of Trace to save Dave from yet more combat. Dave Halbert has been standing here for quite some time, thinking about entering that city, but Karl Franz is not ordered the charge as of yet. Oh, we have a spell coming in from Teclis. What's it going to be? It's a Pit of Shades. Oh my goodness. That is a lot closer than Dave wants to be to a Pit of Shades. And Dave is going to fall back. Good idea, Dave. Good idea. Get out of the way. Save your energy for later. Alright, so he's now officially the back corner of this unit as they march off into the distance. Let's go ahead and check out... Let's check out that destroyed gate over here. It must have been artillery fire that blew it up from the Dwarven cannons. Yes, there they are. They had moved up, and they're getting their long beards and their just the long beards. Yeah, they're moving up their long beards in their towers to go ahead and protect and march up the. Wow, something did damage to these Thunderers. Wow, something did a lot of damage to these Thunderers, and I'd like to know what it was. It's very interesting. So the Dawi are going to go ahead and move up. Avalon Air Force is moving over to support the main Imperial advance. Or maybe it's just the Great Eagles. I do have more units in reserve ready to go. Alright, so the unit has turned around again, which makes our Dave the front left corner of the unit. He's going to brandish his halberd and yell at the enemy. What do we have going on here now? The Star Dragon has engaged the Death Hag, who has gone berserk. Yeah, she is absolutely raging. And it looks like there's a Soul Stealer happening in here as well, but you wouldn't know it while my camera spazzes out all over the ceiling. Units of the Avalon Air Force are over here getting shot at by Dark Shards. The White Lions have pushed in and are now engaging with Dark Shards and with a Reaper Bolt Thrower. In the distance, the what's left of the Dark Elf infantry has retreated, but here comes Malekith. Forward, Alariel orders as the halberdiers stay in place. We'll be back to check on them later. Here comes the advance of these halberdiers. Now, you may be noticing there's only really 2 spots where you can place towers, so why bring up 4 to protect these halberdiers? These halberds are not going to make it to the wall, but they can still protect them from ranged fire. Not that I would expect this portion of the city walls to offer much resistance, as these troops are going to start moving off to cut off the deluge of high elf infantry and Dave's own personal halberdier unit. Oh, there I go into the ceiling again, but it's okay. It was a beautiful look at the city. Speaking of a beautiful look at the city, just yes. Oh, too far up. Too far up. You know, it's like each click of the button is, you know, a thousandth of an inch is it's like 800 feet. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get some cinematic looks at this battle. The Harpies have engaged yet again with Frostheart Phoenixes and Star Dragons. Reaper Bolt Thrower is still trying to shoot down Alariel. We got a Doomflock engaged over here. The Reaper, oh man, the Sunmaker is still hammering Dwarven positions. Halberdiers are starting to get into position on these walls. And the Dawi towers are well making their advance. They're probably just going to go up this far and then disengage and move on, but there's plenty of ranged units here. The rest of the Avalon Air Force is out here soaking up some fire. This is incredible. I love this map. Look at this. There's actually... What is that, like a waterfall? Oh, so cool. It's like a waterfall of Quicksilver, if I had to guess. Are you not entertained? I know I am. Gosh, I hope this is viewable on my channel. Man, okay, so They've really come down on top of Dave's unit now. As I move through the dragons and the harpies to see if I can't find either Dave himself or his corpse. There's our man, right here. In a deluge of wings and dragons and phoenixes, he stands tall, trying to figure out where he's supposed to poke his halberd. Don't stop until they're all dead, he says. But when faced with this, who's the enemy? That dragon is terrifying. Look how many dead Halbert. Look at how many dead harpies lay at Dave's feet. The gods have abandoned us, he says. Oh, a burning head. And it's going right through Dave's unit. The Phoenix charges into the burning head. Oh my goodness. Do not trust wizards. Good advice. Good advice. Oh my goodness. So Sorceress of Shadows picking up some impressive kills there. Sisters of Avalon are now ahead of the Halberdiers. And they somehow only took 7 casualties from all of that. But I think that's because Harpies were just vastly outclassed by dragons, halberds, and phoenixes. And here comes another White Lion of Trace, charging right through Dave's unit.
Ulrich's teeth, retreat!
Retreat? From what? Your own? Oh, the dragon flying over your head. It's on your team, I promise.
Under her protection.
Alright, so it looks like the Dark Elves are
Forward.
trying to do an Australian peel. This is what you do when you retreat a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. All the while you have other forces to protect you as the next unit retreats. And then that one unit that was just protecting, it retreats while the one that it was just protecting turns around. So we've got halberdiers now pouring out onto the walls. Or thinking twice about it, actually. They don't know exactly what they're doing 100%. Might be a little bit of a glitch. But it's okay. I think at this stage, all these halberdiers can afford to get off of their towers and just go ahead and take out that gatehouse. Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. They're using their halberds to just poke down that gate wall. Okay, the Dwarven forces are inside and are also already pushing on the main city itself. That's fantastic. They've already met combat with another Bleak Sword. Malekith is out here. He's probably going to try and do something about this. If he has a breath attack, that'll be a lot of dead Logbeards. Let's find out what happens. These Dark Shards with shields are probably going to start opening fire. Here comes a Noxious Breath. Good hit, causing a lot of carnage. 49 kills total for Malekith at this stage of the battle. We're going to continue along through the walls. Some battered Dark Elf forces here. Some really battered Dark Elf forces. Teclis is charging up by himself. We have a... what spell is this? A Soul Stealer has been activated against the Avalorni Air Force, and Teclis is going to go ahead and fall back. So we have a mass mob of halberds and White Lions as these units are going to go ahead and move forward. Teclis has scouted it out. He said, "It's okay, guys. We can march. We can advance." So Dave's unit of halberdiers has begun its assault. Back over here, Empire and the Noble in the Chariot that was surfing the ground earlier have made it in, and they're chasing off what's left of this artillery and the Dread Spear. The Thunderous have made it inside now, as well as the Giant Slayers, and Thorgrim has breached the walls. Thorgrim is now inside. So this whole portion of the city is definitely under control of the forces of order. And that poor Bleak Sword there, even though it had support from Malekith earlier, is that Malekith right there? Is he fully healed? No, that's the Supreme Sorceress. I was wondering if that Soul Stealer actually did enough. I wouldn't be throwing Giant Slayers into this. I mean, granted, Giant Slayers are going to win. I would back them up by charging, rear charging. Or wait, that's all one unit stretched out. These Longbeards have really pushed them through. And I wonder what tricks and devious plans the Dark Elves have planned for this choke point right here. Oh, I guess it's not the only choke point they have to worry about. There's a second one. Right by this pretty building.
Our sorcery is majestic.
Our sorcery is majestic, he says. Alright, well, let's see if you can protect that tower. The spire already has... Oh, man. This column is already taking quite a... Looks like it might be under the complete control of the forces of order as these Dawi forces just come in like ants out of an anthill. They're just pouring in. We're going to go take a trip into the ceiling and come back down. Sorry about that. Lekheim. Let's go see how Dave's doing. Whoops. Went right past him. Dave's unit is inside the city now. And here he is.
They are wavering.
Alright, so there was a reformation. So it looks like our Dave has been... Oh no, wait, he's still that front corner. It's a good strategy for Imperial Statesmen. Just follow the elite High Elf Infantry.
Guided by light.
But it looks like the elite High Elf Infantry is going to fall back into their unit, and this is what this is the sight that greets our Dave. Morathi has arrived, and we have some harpies flying around. Okay, an effect here is taking advantage. I believe that's probably fear, not necessarily terror. But these poor bleak swords. Let's see if Dave gets any kills. Nope! Bleak sword shatter. They're like, we ain't facing that. I've killed enough! Alright, Dave has shifted over. Quick checkup on the other forces. The Dawi are still strong, and they're starting to move through and into the city over here. The Elven and Empire forces are advancing together over here. Dave's halberds leading the way for the moment. But they do have some harpies to worry about. Morathi was seen flying around here a second ago. Look at the detail in the road here, just with like this lava flow that went into this grate, and these Empire troops are just going to walk right over the grate. Very, very sure-footed, these Imperial statesmen. It's almost scary. It's like, well, what are we going to face next? What's going to happen? We make our way deeper and deeper into this Dark Elf city, chasing these fleeing Dark Elf warriors, these bleak swords. But I hear something. What's going on behind us? Aha! Looks like Morathi's been caught out by the Avalon Air Force, and the Everqueen's Court Guard is going to give him some supporting fire as well. And here comes another dragon. Morathi needs to get out of there, and fast, if she's going to survive. And I think that's what's on her mind. She's going to go ahead and fly up past this tower. It's going to be chased all the way. And there is some help in the form of harpies and a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows and Malekith. Was Morathi the bait for a trap? She flies past as the harpies fly over. And this is going to be one heck of a battle. Even Karl Franz is over here joining the Avalon Air Force. Meanwhile, down here, Dave's halberdiers are getting peppered. They've been attacked. And it looks like they might actually be out of position because they're charging up this stairway now. They took another casualty, and that will let's hope it's not Dave. No, Dave is still on the advance. He's doing okay. We'll say it's this one. What's to greet them over this hill? Another bleak sword or a dread spear? That's fine. Meanwhile, back here, oh, here comes some more ranged fire as dark elves pepper them with arrows from over the walls.
Death to the enemy!
I know, right? There he is. Everybody's just wandering along, and then after a while, one random statesman just goes, "Ah!"
They will pay!
Yep. I think the cost of a statesman's foot, which is what sounds like happened to that one guy, I think he lost a foot, is about 3-4 gold pieces. Alright, so Dave has shifted over. He's kind of moved over into this area. I was just kind of watching him move along. Oh, and now he's shifting back to the left. Gonna follow his Halbert as best I can. Now he's front and center-ish. Okay, so Murderous Prowess, or whatever it's called, is activated. Look at how far ahead this unit of halberds is. Dave, you suicidal madman. Your army's back there, my friend.
Moving out.
Okay, here we go. Battle is engaged. Gonna go into slow motion while I try and find him in the carnage. He was in the middle of that unit. Oh. And they have made contact with the Black Ark Corsairs. Ah, it's going to be hard to maneuver the camera in here. Oh, nope. We'll say he's this one who just took a swing at that guy. Oh, he's taking combat damage himself. He's getting battered back. He got a stab off, but he didn't kill that one. And oh, he's gotten stabbed twice himself. He's still standing here. He's trading blows with the enemy and taking blows. He's at the bottom right of the screen right now. Oh, there he goes. That's it. That's the end of Dave Halbert. Let's see how the rest of his unit goes. Not well. Not well at all. And there was a dragon here a second ago. They could get a quick charge on this, and that'd be the end of this this halberdier, for sure. These Corsairs didn't even take any damage from this. They're just carving this halberdier up. And where is the closest reinforcement for them? Not even in the same neighborhood of this city, if I'm being totally honest. The Avalon Air Force is going to make its assault, supporting the Dawi advance and continuing to fight. This is so cool with just so many flying units all over this map. It's just a thing of beauty because of all these towers. And the Harpies are still in it. They're still engaging. The the Dark Elf units have retreated to this major portion of the city where the Hydra and the Charybdis are. The Avalon Air Force is now is determined to get these Harpies off the battlefield once and for all, I think. The Noble is charging up. Has the Noble gotten any kills? I noticed it took some damage earlier. Noble's at 76 kills. They must have charged in with the Dawi force and really punished the enemy on that attack.
I shall. Right away. For honor.
Yeah, it's just going to run right over these bleak swords and dread spears and dark shards. This is what I love about chariots. Oh, that was a pretty pathetic charge. Okay, well, they're going to flee from it, unbraced, and then punt these troops all over the place. Oh, but here comes a dragon. Here comes Malekith. Sorry, Noble.
Forward!
Wait, there's a unit moving through the walls over here. White Lions of Trace have arrived.
Our allies are weak.
And there's a unit of Witch Elves over here, too. Meanwhile, the remnants of Dave's halberds. Look at them all. Look at them all. They've definitely retreated.
Avalon!
Let's see where they retreated to.
Moving!
Oh, they would have retreated into that Noble's engagement. That Noble is now berserking, however. So Regina's going to activate the Air Force to try and save that Noble. 112 kills, that's not enough for her to be satisfied with the Noble in a chariot, let me tell you. But it looks like the Noble will win that engagement, even though it's been forced to stay in combat because of all of these supporting units nearby. Did I just see cannon fire? How can you use cannons in this part of the city?
Of course!
Through Dwarven ingenuity. Dwarven ingenuity, that's how. I'm guessing the cannons are set up over here somewhere. Wow, look at all these Dwarven units still in the game. Yeah, there they are. There's some cannons out here. And they have half their ammo left, too. And we have more forces coming in over here from the Empire. More... Oh, man. A lot more.
Moving out!
Including a Jade Wizard, a Handgunner, and some more... look at that. The Keepers of the Flame, some Phoenix Guard. Relatively untouched. Not sure what the Dark Elves can do about this advance.
Sarior! Ever onward!
There's just so many cool cinematic shots in all of this. I could just sit here and stare at this for hours. I mean, look what's going. Oh man, look at that! The Dark Shard fire coming down on the Air Force. Oh man. Loose.
Under her protection!
Just raining fire down on not just the Air Force, but also the troops below.
Advancing!
So this is really the current engagement. It's happening down here with the that Death Hag, I believe, is still in it, but not for much longer. She is supported by the Helibroni. They've fought a long way to get back here from the walls.
For order!
And let me show you the objective area. It is this spot right here in front of that giant door with that really awesome Malekith inspired building.
Driving back the dark!
And the ways to get here are either, whoops, this avenue, which leads to this intersection here, or these roads over here. And I thought I saw another way in. Let me tell you, it is very hard to navigate a camera in these maps. So I'm going to go ahead and try doing a little bit of a tilt down. So yeah, there's also this path out here, which leads to this intersection. So there are several ways to go about getting here, but they involve getting really deep into the city. I hear Star of Avalon activated. Probably to help repair the Avalorni Air Force and Karl Franz. Oh my goodness, look who it is. The Hellstorm rocket battery has pushed up. They have 6 shots remaining too. That'll be useful for the Empire. Oh man. Just stop somewhere in between those two, would you? Because I don't like that view. Clearly I don't like this view. And I like that view, but we passed it. I don't want to be all the way down here. There is no in between. That's the unfortunate thing.
Advancing!
Alright, the the 'Thunderers have opened up fire on Marathi. There's a berserking White Lions of Trace out here chasing some broken witch elves. That's unfortunate. I guess those White Lions are going to lead the attack, so why don't the rest of the forces of Order go ahead and advance? Meanwhile, just a few portions of the city over. That's exactly what's happening. Look at that! Even the Sunmaker is out here with its one shot. It's a lot of effort for one round of ammunition, don't you think? I guess they're gonna get into position over here and try and pepper these units. This is fascinating to watch. We still also have forces of Order at the main column. There's this really, really intimidating infantry blob right here, and another unit of halberds back here. So they've already taken what looks to be the first half of the city proper after taking the defensive ring. And wow, there's just so much territory here. So much to unpack, so many twists and turns and nooks and crannies. I think these great eagles might have overextended a bit if the dark shards can open up fire on them and if the spearmen can get there in time. But no, it's not going to be the case. Very angry Malekith working his way through the backfield. And he still has healing he can do, I'm pretty sure.
Forward.
Malekith still has... yeah, he still has over almost 2,000 points of healing he can do to himself. Those dark shards are going to shoot straight up into this great eagle, and as it dives down, it's going to lose about a third of its health and all that. And oh, there was a Pit of Shades activated out here on top of the Dawi forces. Oh. And isn't that just painful? And they have a War Hydra, I'm sorry, a Charybdis and a Chill of Suntar to have to deal with soon. And honestly, look at that. The Dawi forces, which were relatively unhurt through all of this, they are getting really hammered by the Dreadlord, by these Bleak Swords, and in particular by the Blackguard and Nagaron. And these poor unfortunate handgunners don't quite know what to do with themselves. They should be pulling back. They should be standing back here and opening up fire onto the Harganeth Executioners. There's also a Sorceress of Fire in here, who's at 44 kills. That Sorceress getting off that burning head earlier that almost killed Dave. And yeah, the Charybdis has been activated. The Dark Shards are just peppering this with, oh my goodness, the Thorgrim Grudgebearer is in here too. This might be one of the most ultimate grudges if the Dawi player can't get control of their units. Avalon Air Forces down here. The rest of the Dawi forces are trying to get into position somewhere nearby. Teclis has moved up with the majority of his troops as the forces of Order push on to take over another street from the Dark Elf forces. Look at that. And is that Hellstorm Rocket Battery? Yeah, he fired his last round. And sure enough, there are some wounded Dark Elves up here. The Allies' Lord has fallen. Let's go find out what happened. Yeah, that was Thorgrim. Thorgrim has fallen. The first hero to die this day. One of many, I'm sure. There's going to be several grudges written about this one. But will they be written against the Dark Elves, or will they be written against the Dawi player who put his forces in that position? Yeah, I'm calling you out. Probably wicked. Seems like a wicked thing to do. Oh, another burning head. Just dissipated. I wonder how these Outriders are doing. 65 kills? No way. Yeah, 65 kills for these grenade launching units. They must be... I bet you they might have an angle to get these bolt fiends if they shoot up and over the wall like they're doing to them. Teclis is taking a withering amount of fire here.
Together! With me!
Meanwhile, the Empire advance up these stairs is going very well with the help of Swordmasters of Hoeth. There's only a Black Ark Corsair in their way. These are the ones that killed Dave. And the Sunmaker crew has moved up to attack as well. What is a Hellmaker crew armed with? Short swords, 0 hats, 0 armor. Just short swords. Yeah. I'd take that against the Black Ark Corsair. No, I wouldn't. I would never take that against the Black Ark Corsair. Oh my goodness, Morathi is really haggard looking right now. If she's got a Soul Stealer in her, she'd be hard. I mean, she's probably out of magic. It would be a good idea for her to use it, but I don't think she's going to get that chance. And she's getting really close to Karl Franz and the Jade Wizard. What is Morathi thinking here? Again, it's really hard to control a camera in this city. She's activated something. She's activated Deadly Onslaught and is going to charge the Jade Wizard. Karl Franz sees this happening, and boom, 1 hit, and down goes Morathi. Splat. That is how she dies this day.
Run!
Look at this blob.
I'm tired of this.
I don't. I'm still enjoying it, and I know I have 12 more minutes of this to enjoy. Let's get another cinematic look here. You can even see dragons moving off in the distance. Ranged fire being exchanged between the forces of the Dawi, still down below a level. Oh, a breath attack from one of the dragons. Oh man, how much damage did that just do? This is the Supreme Sorceress, 216 kills now, supporting the Dreadlord and the elite Dark Elf Infantry, which is now facing off against some elite Dwarven Infantry. And a cannon with no more ammo, unfortunately, is also in position out here. The Hydras have fallen back. That's not a bad idea. And this cannon crew, which does have ammo, is retreating as it's getting just destroyed by all this ranged fire from above. Wow, look at these positions up here that these Dark Shards have taken. Getting some great shots off on the Phoenixes, but not doing enough damage. 41 kills for that one, 22 kills on that unit. Malekith looks to be in trouble at this stage. Looks like he's running away from the Avalorni Air Force. It would be a real interesting thing if they would give Frostheart Phoenixes the same frostbite ability as some of the Norskin units. It would make sense for the unit, and it would also slow down units like Malekith as they try to run away from an Avalorni Air Force. So Malekith is now going for some altitude here, but is taking a punishing amount of damage. Look at that. He's got Stand Your Ground activated, but that is a broken dragon saying, I've had enough of this, Malekith. I don't want to stick around. Who's going to get the killing blow? As he dips behind a building for cover. The Avalorni Air Force well in chase, well in pursuit. I just noticed, by the way, the tree kin have finally moved up. They're over here behind this corner of the wall. And I think, let's check the speed here. 417 health, 90 speed. The Frostheart Phoenixes have speed of 100, and Alariel has a speed of 110. I think Alariel might be able to do this herself if Avalon wants to send its Air Force to target something else. Or is Malekith going to die over one of these great and mighty chasms? That'd be something else, wouldn't it? Oh, it'd be a very lava-y death. Nope, Malekith did not make it that far. He died inside the city walls. And it looks like in a lava flow. Meanwhile, Pit of Shades has been activated yet again. Right on top of the Everqueen's Court Guard. And it's tearing away chunks of the building. Thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. There's a Death Hag over here engaged with the forces of the Empire and the High Elves under Teclis's command. Look at these Dread Spears trying to hold out. They're completely overwhelmed by these halberds and great swords.
Druki blood flows.
Druki blood flows. Oh, here comes the Supreme Sorceress on her dragon, trying to hope to turn the tide of battle over here. Oh, what a breath attack. Right on top of their own unit, and some the Swords of Sigmar, a Swordmaster of Hoeth. I think Karl Franz is going to have something to say about that with that Sorceress. And it's, ah! That's what he has to say. Ah! Oh, the Everqueen's Court Guard, now recovered, is going to go ahead and open up fire on that Sorceress. And there's still ammo left on this Hellstorm rocket battery, which is somehow getting into position. And somebody's activated a healing spell here. Is it an Earthblood? What was it? Whose side was it on? It was the Jade Wizard. And it managed... it's a regrowth for Sigmar's Sons. Let's go ahead and check out that Dawi engagement, because it looked like that was turning against... oh, and yes, indeed, it's turned against the Dawi player. Unfortunately for them, I do not see much left to their advance. They do have a cannon crew out here that's regrouped, but nothing for them to hop on. Their cannons are probably over here somewhere. Yeah, there they are right here, but it'd be a heck of a race for them to get to these cannons, turn them around, and then turn them against the Dreadlord and the Harganeth Executioners. That's probably it for the Dwarves, unfortunately. Because all they have left is that one crew of cannons. Let's go ahead and mold through the walls here as we go and try and find what else is regrouped back here. Ah, there's a chance that we'll see the Longbeards and Thunderers return. There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. And, hold on, another Haggard unit of Longbeards over here. So the Dawi are not counted out yet. Oh, well, maybe they are. Maybe they are, as the Charybdis turns the corner and finds them. It's not just one unit of Longbeards, it's two. Do not shame your ancestors. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. Run and mark the day in the book. Here comes the Treekin. Great Eagles screeching their triumphant victories. The Hellstorm rocket battery is still pushing up. I'm not sure who they're hoping to shoot at this stage. There's just so much going on here. It's impossible to see what's happening. There must be that Death Hag still in this blob somewhere. And it's just getting swarmed by the Avaloni Air Force and Halberts. The rest of the Dark Elf infantry over here is routing and is getting chased all the way by halberds. And oh, the Noble is the first to make it. A Noble and a White Lion of Trace is the first to make it to the capture point. And it looks like they've decided not to capture. They're going to go for a military victory in the sense of defeating the enemy troops. I don't blame them for trying this, but I honestly, if I was Regina right now, I'd just go ahead and take the center, force them to fall back, because then they take more damage when they retreat. And you've won on this flank for sure, But the Dark Elves are not to be counted out just yet. Let's mold through more buildings, see if we can't find. Oh, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to push along through the city instead of fall back. They're going to push forward and reach the High Elf and Empire in their flank. And look at that, there's a breath attack for them. Oh, it gets a lovely, lovely angle straight up the stairway into the Keepers of the Flame. But the Keepers of the Flame, that's one hell of a rear guard, don't you think? It's going to come down here, and it's going to charge down the stairway, get shot by the Everqueen's Court Guard some, and then just push them down the stairway, I think is their plan. Hellstorm Rocket Battery is taking up position here, but for who knows what reason. If they can get an angle, if they can get the angle, they should shoot down into this blob right here. Look at those arrows just arcing up and down onto the Hydra, the Chill of Sontar. That's pretty phenomenal. There's still a dragon out here. That's a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows. Is it fleeing, though, or is it coming back to the battle? Oh, no. It's trying to angle around here for a mission against the enemy. I think the Noble has found the city center.
Ever onward.
Oh, no. That's actually the Outriders with hand grenades. They're going to retreat the battlefield at 76 kills. The rest of the Dark Elves are going to start following suit. Alright, victory is in our grasp. And it's definitely the case. I don't know what more there is for the Dark Elves to do at this stage. It was one heck of a battle, and I would like to thank Regina Dea for submitting this to me and for giving it to me to watch. She said I didn't even have to put it on my channel, but you know, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to try to record it. That's just my way of operating here. Special thanks to the players for dealing with this huge battle. Looks like at this stage the Dark Elf players that are left are kind of giving up the ghost some. Oh, that poor Blob. That poor Blob. Trying to protect the Hydras, but those Hydras, I mean, I guess if they were going to try and pull off any kind of defense here, it would be to fall back to the city center and then just last out as long as possible against the deluge of halberds and white lions and the Avalorni Air Force. Is this going to be another battle where Regina Dea takes 0 casualties? Because that's what it's starting to feel like. Let's go ahead and put this into fast forward, as this is pretty much all that's left for 5 more minutes. Yeah, there's the Hellstorm Rocket Battery. I was wondering. It got off its volley. Oh, man. What a battle. Let's take this opportunity just to appreciate the field of battle. So much to look at here, so much to unpack. I like the little war camp set up here with, little, towers and everything. It shows that, life in a city isn't just the city inside the walls. There's also the life outside the walls. And let me look at the mining process here for all this warpstone. Maybe it used to belong to the Skaven at one point, and the Dark Elves moved in. And look at the detail even down into the lava pits. There's a little balcony here. The Dwarven assault. The actual column itself. Very, very cool map. I like the steam coming out of the water here. Very appropriate for the setting of, like, it looks like this is supposed to be like a tamed volcano. Look at the lava pouring off of this. That's so neat. They opened up like gateways just to let the lava flow out. That's so neat. Let's go ahead and check in on the battle, see if there's any last-minute surprises here as we come into the last 3 minutes. No, those 2 Hydras are still standing there. The Dark Shards have decided to break up their formation, and the infantry fight is going to continue. That first unit of halberds are pretty much done, but they've moved up another halberd, what's left of the Sigmar Sons, and another halberd. They're going to be supported by Sword Masters of Hoeth, as the Everqueen Scorecard is going to waste the rest of its ammo. City Center. We have some Dark Shards that have fallen back here, but no Forces of Order to pursue. Your hidden units are revealed. The Avalon Air Force is in position now and is going to come down on top of what's left of them. Is that the Noble? Oh yes, the Hydras have moved up now. And yeah, the Noble has made it back over here and is looking at 212 kills.
By your command, the king.
Moving.
Yeah, that's what a Noble charge on a chariot looks like.
Advancing.
And it disappears into the building. Whoop, 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 whoop. The Sorceress of Fire has activated a Burning Head.
Charge.
Late game Burning Head. Look at that. Maybe a bit too late. Oh, but look at the carnage it leaves in its wake. Also, by the way, you'd be okay to aim that at walls because it would actually like ping pong its way through here. Bounce, 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 bounce. Oh man, what a burning head that is. And it heads to the cafe and disappears.
For Ulfwin, our allies' weakness seconds me. Finish them.
Let's see how that Sorceress did. 125 kills now. The Noble, 248, and counting. Karl Franz dropping down as well. And they're going to go ahead and pull that rear charge directly into the main blob of Dark Elf forces that are left. This fight is lost. It is lost indeed.
Lakore! Forward! Battle calls!
Are you not entertained? I know I am.
Isha, guide me.
Frame rates is so low right now. Can't imagine what it's going to be like watched back. We'll see if it's even presentable for my channel, of course.
Lakore!
There's so many, just like everywhere the camera stops is just a beautiful angle. Like I don't have but only so much control over this, you know. This is just phenomenal level design. I think this is the best map I've seen yet from GCCM. I really do. Just
For order!
just look at it.
Onward! Together! Attack!
I'd live here. I mean, if it didn't have, you know, if it wasn't a city full of dark elves that wanted to murder me, I'd absolutely live here.
Henry.
There's just so much cool stuff. Alright, we're going to go ahead and fast forward this out.
Henry.
Doubt there's any more surprises, so... Oh, looks like we did have one of the Star Dragons die down here. Look at that. But I bet you that's actually Teclis's Star Dragon. I came down here to fight off the Dark Shards and got mobbed by other units. Epic music for an epic conclusion. And let's get the sound effects.
The cowards flee! The battle is lost!
Isha.
The Noble still on its rampage.
Moving. Asa. Maintaining order.
It's an excellent use of color in this map too. Just like everything has a purpose where it is. Like, you know, from these crystals here to these lava falls, everything just has a natural addition. Like the waterfall over here falls into the lava and then just steam pours out. It's just so incredible. And there's even the detail up in the ceiling. They put up like some upside down Dark Elf towers up there. Oh, it's so incredible. Whew. That was a long one. 299 kills. You couldn't get just one more, Noble? Not just one more. That's so unfortunate. Hey, I got it wrong. So I did proclaim the Tawi player as wicked. I was mistaken. It was not wicked, and I'm sorry if that for that mistake. Tawi forces showed up late and left early. That's unfortunate for them. Wicked's Empire forces did a pretty phenomenal job, especially with their cheating Hellstorm rocket batteries. Oh man. Halbert's performed well overall. 133 kills on Karl Franz. I missed most of that engagement. Krios brought Teclis, 105 kills. White Lions putting up some good numbers. The Swordmasters doing even better. 155 kills for the Star Dragon that was lost. Regina did have some casualties, and they came in the form of 18 Scions of Mathlin, I'm guessing. 17 Scions of Mathlin and 1 Great Eagle. Man, 155 kills, 299, 85, 25. And let's look at Bazooka Bob here. He brought the Dreadlord with Sword and Shield. He was the player that was primarily driving the assault against the Thorgrim Grudge Bearer, but he did not have the two the Hydras. We'll find that player soon. That's he also had the Sorceress of Fire. 197 kills and 143 kills. These were against Dwarves mostly. And that Dark Shard, 199 kills on a Dark Shard. That is what you call excellent use of ammo, my friends. Dear Lord, I've never seen that number on a Dark Shard. 327 kills on the Supreme Sorceress of Shadow. I'm guessing all in Hell Pits. Oh, and the Dragon, the Breath attacks. 145 kills for the Chill of Sontar. 17 for Charybdis. Feral Manticore with only 6. And unfortunately, the Dark Elf Air Force just was not enough for the Avalon Air Force. Broken Sky, 58 kills with the Morathi, 100 kills with the Death Hag. And this was the player who brought all 4 Reaper Bolt Throwers. Interesting strategies from the get-go. I think they did an okay job for what they were intended for, but not good enough, unfortunately. 105 kills on Malekith. 107 on the Black Orc Corsairs, 68 here, 163 for the Blades of the Blood Queen, 16 on the Bold Fiends. Whew. I'm exhausted just watching that. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I did. I will see you all in the next one, if this records right, of course. If not, then I'm just talking to myself all night. You know what? I'm okay with that too.